Hello, welcome everybody to Denver Zoo's Toyota Elephant Passage, brought to you by your hometown Toyota stores. My name is Reese. I'm here with Victoria, Lauren, Barb, and Sarah. And today we have a really special demo for you guys. We actually have 3 elephants that have access to the demo right now. And those elephants are Bodie, Chuck, and Billy. Right now we have Bodie here right now. Bodie is one of our 15-year-old Asian elephants. The way that you can tell him apart from the other boys is that he is one of our tallest elephants, and he also has the least pink on his body than any of the other elephants. In the back there, only some of you can really see the other two, we have Chuck and Billy. With them, Billy is, they're both 11 years old. And the way to tell them apart is that Chuck, he has a nice strip of pink on the front of his trunk, while Billy has the most pink on his face than any of the other elephants. He has a lot of pink all over his trunk and his face. Now, it's really cool that we can have 3 of our elephants out here at one time, because when you think of Asian elephants in their natural habitat, you're probably thinking of large herds of elephants that stay together for the most part. Now, those herds consist of female elephants and their young, while male elephants, such as the boys that we have here, they'll leave those herds at around 5 to 9 years old, and they'll go and form what is called loose bachelor herds. These loose bachelor herds consist of bull males who will fight and spar with each other to create a sort of social hierarchy with each other in that area. Now, they'll stay in those loose bachelor herds from a few days to a few weeks, depending on their social needs. And when they leave, they'll live a pretty solitary life for the most part. And what's really cool is that we can recreate that loose bachelor herd setting for our boys here at the Denver Zoo. In Toyota Elephant Passage, we have 10 acres of land here, which consists of 5 yards and an indoor rotational exhibit. So depending on the day that you're here, you can see any of our boys paired up with each other. You can see them like they are right now, with the 3 of them together, even 4 or all 5 of our elephants together at one time. And that's why we're proud to say that we have the largest bachelor herd in North America here at Denver Zoo. Now I'm going to give the mic to Sarah to talk to you guys about training.
Alright, thanks Reese. Before I get into a little bit of training, I want to tell you about some of the things you're seeing back in the background with Chuck and Billy. So Reese was telling you about how we have all males and how they do a lot of sparring. Billy and Chuck are demonstrating that very well with each other in the back. So they're both 11 years old, and they're pretty competitive with each other. Bodie here is 15, so they're a little bit more respectful of him. He's quite a bit larger than them. But both of them would like to come on the peninsula and get some treats. Even though if both of them come down, they'll each have a trainer that can give them treats. But they kind of like to fight over who gets the best spot for the really good treats. So that's kind of what's going on. And Chuck running back there to block Billy. It's kind of funny to see elephants run. They can't actually run like other animals can. They really just do a really fast walk, the way that their legs are shaped. So Victoria's back there with Billy, so she's going to be doing some behaviors with him, and then Lauren will be working with Chuck up here. So the kind of training that you guys are watching between Barb and Lauren and Bodie and Chuck is the style of training that we use here at Denver Zoo. It's called operant conditioning with a focus on positive reinforcement. So it's a lot of psychology terms, but what it boils down to is every interaction that we have with
There
animals,
we go, guys.
and it's the same style of training for all the animals at Denver Zoo, not just the elephants. But every interaction that we have with them, it's their choice. It's on their terms. They get to choose if they want to participate in a session or not. And if they do choose to participate, it's going to be a positive experience for them. So you can see Lauren and Barb have a couple of tools with them. They both have buckets, and there's all sorts of treats in there. So today I think it's apples, maybe some oranges, and papaya. So pretty much out here we do things that float. And then they also have whistles in their mouth. So they are actually just dog whistles, but you are able to hear it. It's tuned down to our level. So if you heard that whistle, that means that the elephant did a correct behavior. So it's just a way to communicate with them. So the whistle itself doesn't actually tell them what to do, but they'll ask something with what we call a visual cue, like a hand signal and a verbal cue. And then if they do that correctly, then you'll hear that whistle blown. That tells the elephant that was the correct thing, you can be done, and a treat is on its way. So that's where that positive reinforcement comes in. Those are probably the most reinforcing thing for elephants are really good treats. They eat a lot, and all these fruits and vegetables, those are only a very special treat. So it's not part of their regular diet. They get grass hay and tree branches and leaves, what we call browse, as part of their everyday diet. And then the produce is just for training sessions. So if they do not do the correct behavior, you might not even notice. We don't use any kind of punishment here. Elephants don't even know what the word no means. So you might not notice if Barbara Lauren asks the elephants to do something and they get it correct. Actually, Bodhi is demonstrating it right now. So if she asked something different and he didn't do it at first, then he figured it out because Bodhi's really, really smart. But if you didn't figure it out, you might not even notice that he got it wrong because she's not going to say no or stomp her feet. She's just going to move on, act like nothing happened, and do something a little bit easier and kind of get his confidence back up. And he'll know that he got something wrong because he's like, hey, where's my treat? I must not have been paying super close attention, so I'll pay a little bit closer attention and see if that is what can get me some good treats. So even these demonstrations are completely voluntary. We have had demonstrations before where no elephant shows up, which isn't super fun for all the people that come to see them, but it is the elephant's choice. So through that style of training and building that really positive history and positive relationship with them, we're able to accomplish a lot. We do blood draws on our elephants once a week. We are doing a study on Asian bull socialization, like Reese was talking about. Asian bulls in general, bull elephants, have different social needs. They spend a lot of time on their own. So we're doing a study on how socialization and how their hormones interact with that. And so one of the ways that we can test their hormones is with blood. And how many people like getting their blood drawn? Not very many people, right? It's not a super fun experience for many of us. But these elephants, they will also voluntarily participate in those, which is really, really cool. So we'll have doors open. They can leave if they want. But anytime they get poked with a needle, whether or not we are successful at getting blood, they get melons, which is the only time they get melons. So it's a really, really, really special treat. And it's the only time they get melons is if they're poked with a needle. So as you guys know, elephants are really, really smart. They learn pretty quickly. Okay, yeah, this is worth it. I can stand here if it just means getting a tiny little poke, if it means I'm going to get 2 awesome melons. Cantaloupe and honeydew they really like. Bodhi likes papaya, so sometimes we'll give that in place of one of his melons. So that's kind of a glimpse into how we're training. So they always have the choice if they want to participate, and if they don't want to, nothing bad happens to them. They just don't get some extra special treats. So that's what our training boils down to. So even things like behaviors that you're seeing out here, getting down all the way down on the ground or kneeling down, they look cool, but they also serve a few purposes. So if an elephant does not want to do that, out here it might tell us maybe Bodhi doesn't completely trust going down all the way down on the ground right next to Chuck, since their relationship is still a little bit newer. But it can also tell us, especially if he's out here by himself and he doesn't want to do it, maybe he's sore from playing with an elephant the day before. Maybe it's something we need to call our vets about and see if there's something more going on, and see if we need to take a closer look at them. It also allows us to see the top of their heads and their backs. Bodhi's about almost 11 feet tall, so we can't see him unless he comes down to our level. So that's a good way for us to see the top of his back as well. And of course, it's really good mental stimulation for them to learn something new. Bodhi and Chuck, Billy also, but Bodhi and Chuck are really, really smart elephants. And so they really like to learn new things. So it's really rewarding, it seems, for them to learn new things as often as possible. So that's another way we can engage their minds. Now, does anyone know, or did we say at the beginning? I think I already said it, but does anyone remember what kind of elephants we have here at Denver Zoo? Asian or African elephants?
African.
Asian. How'd you guys know that? Did I say it? If I didn't say it, their ears are a really good way to know that you're looking at Asian elephants. So these guys have got smaller triangular shaped ears. If we had African elephants, their ears would be about 3 times that size. Really big Dumbo ears. Those belong to African elephants. Another way to tell that you're looking at Asian elephants, if you see those freckles, I know it's kind of hard with the glare at this time of day right now, but if you can't see their faces, they've got this freckling pattern on their face and ears and shoulders. So that's unique to Asian elephants. African elephants are one pigment all throughout. So there's a few other differences, like the 2 bumps on their head and the shape of their back. Those are some more advanced ways to tell, but probably their ears and their skin is the best way to tell that you're looking at Asian elephants. Now we have all male Asian elephants, so they all have tusks. If we had female Asian elephants, they would not have tusks. They have tiny little things that are tucked up in there. They're called tushes. Sometimes you can see them poking out, sometimes you can't. But African elephants, both males and females have tusks. That's one of the differences between them. And that's actually one of the reasons why poaching is such a problem for African elephants, because both males and females have tusks. So African elephants, they're numbered at about 300,000, which is a pretty big number, but we lose 96 African elephants every single day, and that's due to poaching for their ivory tusks. That's more than 30,000 a year. So the best way that we can help African elephants is to just not buy ivory, which I know might sound kind of silly. A lot of people don't think that they've seen it before. But the United States is actually the second biggest importer of illegal ivory. So just know what you're buying, especially if you're traveling. We don't want to accidentally contribute to that problem. Sometimes it's marketed as antique ivory or mammoth or something like that. Just stay away from it so that we're not accidentally contributing to that problem. Now, Asian elephants like these guys out here, their story is a little bit